Hi, I'm Lori Clapper with BioResearch Online here at INTERPHEX 2012. I'm speaking today with Manny Krishnan. You are the Director of Processing Systems with EMD Millipore.
Yes, hi Lori.
Hi, thank you for talking with me today.
Thank you.
Now, one thing we want to start out with is some of the challenges pharma manufacturers are seeing with single-use technologies. Can you address a few of those?
Sure. So, single-use technologies certainly over the last few years has taken off very rapidly in the marketplace. And as customers, as end users start implementing these at large scale, they're starting to realize some of the limitations of single use. So now people are looking at single use and making sure they're judicious about the decision to go to single use. Meaning there are certain scale limitations beyond which single use may not necessarily be the appropriate choice. They also are looking at the cost of single use. When you have a product that is made over and over again, for example, a stainless steel facility may actually be an economical option compared to a single-use facility. So I think there is still a rapid growth in single-use technologies, but certainly there's more measured implementation of single-use technologies. Having said that, now people are looking to implement single-use technologies in more critical areas. The single-use has been implemented for a long time in buffer and media hold type of applications. Now people are moving towards more critical applications for implementation of single-use technologies. And when you start going towards critical applications, it comes with its own set of challenges. So you have questions about particulates, you have questions about extractables, leachables, you have questions about integrity testing, about the integrity of a closed system. So all those questions are actually coming about, and I wouldn't say these are insurmountable challenges, but these are things that vendors like Millipore and our customers are working together and trying to resolve.
Now, some of those critical areas, what are those?
So, for example, one area that's critical is what we have right behind us, a bioreactor. Right? For example, if you're making a product in a bioreactor for a clinical study, say a 50-liter or 200-liter bioreactor, the material that you need to generate for the clinical trial depends on how well the bioreactor works. So certainly a critical step in the manufacturing process. Another area where we see customers moving towards single use is in the other end of the process, final fill finish. So just before the drug goes into a vial or a syringe or some kind of a delivery device, people are looking to convert those operations to single-use technologies from traditional stainless steel technologies. Now you have a completely different set of challenges there. Now because you're so close to the vial as possible, you want to make sure that the technologies don't result in a contaminated drug product. Right? So those are the areas where we see single-use taking off, but also there's a lot of validation challenges that we are working with to make sure that we can overcome them along with our customers.
Now, I'm picking up on some things you're talking about here, those validation challenges.
Yeah.
I know that's always a big issue.
Yeah.
What are a couple of those that you can mention right now?
So a couple of things we can talk about. One of them is how do you ensure that you've characterized all the extractables, leachables that could come out of the single-use technology. It's not a new topic, but again, it takes a different magnitude. It goes into a different level when you talk about drug product rather than somewhere in the intermediate steps of the process. Another one is particulates. Particulates also is becoming I wouldn't say concern, but people are starting to ask questions about particulates from single-use systems because these are manufactured in clean rooms, but they're not claimed to be particle-free. The question basically is that how do you ensure that the drug product that's going through the single-use assembly and the drug that enters the vial, how do you classify that? What kind of particle claims can you classify that under? So all these questions are being raised. Again, I think it is a maturation of the industry. I wouldn't say these are showstoppers, just a maturation of the industry, and we are learning how to answer those questions and how to get the data necessary to satisfy our customers.
Okay, so what type of measurable benefits do manufacturers see from converting over to single use?
I think the benefits. I mean, as a provider of single-use technologies, I can talk at length about the benefits of single-use technologies. But EMD Millipore also provides multi-use systems. So we are not just single-use focused. So we can cater to both sides of the fence, as it may. So the single-use technologies, particularly when you have a multi-product, multi-scale facility where you need the flexibility of scaling up and down, flexibility to move from one product to another very rapidly. For those kind of facilities, you need to have a significant amount of flexibility in those facilities. And that is where we see single-use certainly being implemented. Another area where we see single-use being implemented is when you start looking at facilities where people have put a lot of capital, but because they have to do the cleaning and reuse validation, there is a reduced facility utilization rate, right? So when you have a facility wherein you've put $5–10 million worth of capital and you have a utilization rate of 30% or 40%, that's not a good use of capital. And if single-use technologies can help increase your facility utilization rate, that's a good use of your capital. So we see both sides where flexibility is required, also in areas where capital utilization or facility utilization is low, we see single-use adoption coming up.
This bioreactor, it's the Mobius CellReady. Yeah. Can you give us some information on the benefits of your bioreactor?
Sure, Lori, thank you. This is a product that we launched in March of 2012, so it's brand new. And this is our CellReady 50-liter bioreactor. Last year, we launched the 200-liter collapsible bioreactor, and this is the smaller cousin of the 200-liter bioreactor. When we started talking to customers about single-use bioreactors, we started listening to some of the challenges they were having in terms of what is out in the marketplace. Couple of things that we heard repeatedly from customers was the lack of flexibility of the current reactors in the marketplace. The second one was the ease of use in terms of operator installation of the bioreactors. So we said, okay, what can we do to make the product easy to use, easy to install, not for the engineer who's specifying the bioreactor, but for the operator who's actually going to be using the bioreactor. So what can we do to make it easy to install? Also, what can we do to make it more flexible from an end user standpoint? So those are the key things that went into the design of this bioreactor. So the couple of new things that you would probably not see in other bioreactors that you see here, one of them is the use of the hard shell. So the 50-liter as well as the 200-liter employ a hard shell base that is keyed, meaning you can only install it one way. So an operator cannot make a mistake in the installation of the bioreactor. And because it has a hard shell, it sits very robustly inside the stainless steel carrier. Okay, so from ease of use standpoint, we think we have addressed that question. The second thing is customers talk about flexibility. When you have a multi-product, multi-scale facility, our end users are looking for a lot of flexibility in terms of the sensor options, single-use sensors versus reusable sensors, number of sensors in a bioreactor. So with the traditional single-use bioreactor, what you end up having is having to purchase a whole bunch of different options in order for you to use in your facility. So what we have done here is employ the SensorReady loop. So the bioreactor main container does not have the sensors in it. All the sensors are in an external loop. Now by purchasing different kinds of external loops, they can use the same bioreactor base container and just use different loops depending on what configuration they want. So the SensorReady loop as well as the hard shell are, we think, a couple of innovative elements that we brought into this bioreactor, and our customers, the feedback from the customers have been very, very positive.
All right, Manny, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Lori.